Hi, and welcome back. Today, Mona and I have returned to the Walker House, located in San Dimas, California. We've recently come across some new information concerning a spirit who we believe may be inhabiting the museum. Let's take a look and see what we unravel.
What we might do, well, we'll do both, but is to, if the elevator's operating, we'll take that upstairs too, because I've caught some incredible EVPs from that guy in here.
Okay.
So we'll give that a shot too. I'll be okay as soon as I learn the language. It's empty right now. I've often seen a couple of older ladies in here, not the one we were talking to out front. We were talking to one who's, oh boy, she's sort of the matriarch of this place. I'll find out the name later. You know, she is listed, but she often has all her roses out there. You know, greets you when you come in the door. The sensitive people can absolutely feel her when you come in. But oftentimes another lady is in either this room or this room here. So they're not opening the door, so I just gotta feel it into it. I do feel a male spirit that's in there, fairly young though. This is not the same man who was the sheriff here in San Dimas, who recently got recognized for his heroic actions way back. This one is more of there's a younger man that hangs out here too, young 20s. I believe he's the same one that would hang out in the dining room in one of the back areas, and he supposedly hung himself.
Oh, we talked to him last time we were here.
Okay, yeah, that guy. That guy feels like he's hanging out in here. Yeah, he's just toward the back of the room and facing out. He's just relaxing, just like he's sitting down. If he had a paper, he'd probably read that. He doesn't seem to know we're here or really care one way or the other. Okay. Yeah, no, that's about all I feel in this room. Okay, so let's kind of make our way back down here. We're on the search.
Yeah, I wish I could open all these rooms for you.
Oh, not a problem. It's like, fortunately, I can kind of go through it, you know, and just by touch, you know, the psychometry. So it's, this one feels fairly empty. Right now, I just kind of get a younger male that's over in the left-hand last room. And he is just sort of just relaxing there. He's the one I usually see over in the dining room in that little cubby, you know, area.
Yeah.
You know, that may or may not have hung himself, you know, at some point. You know,
Yeah.
it's just kind of, and he's usually in a very spunky mood. Maybe the weather's getting to him too.
Oh, okay.
You know, to where it's like
Gloomy weather.
Yeah, it's like maybe he's just not into it today. I don't know. He seems a little morose today, but he's not the sheriff guy that we're looking for.
Yeah, let's go.
Basement?
Basement.
Cool. Now first of all, ask, is anybody here in the elevator with us, and what's your name? Yeah, it feels like someone's in here with us, but okay, let's see if we can get some lights on now, so that'll be exciting.
Oh, good.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, okay. I think we might have that guy. I look back in there and he's just like, he flips an interesting bird to us. It's like, okay, good. That at least says that guy's there. If he's a sheriff or not, I don't know.
Oh, it was very small. She wasn't kidding.
Yeah, right? It's like the backyard.
Looks like there's some rooms in there. against the wall.
Yeah. Well, we can't get to them from here.
Yeah.
I don't know how you get to those, tell you the truth. You must just be able to get in from the outside. Okay, we'll speak real loud if you can. It feels like there's some spirit in here. Yeah, okay. He's trying to get behind me. Now, what's your name, hon? And for the record, it's like, my name's Mona, this is Michelle.
Hello.
We're just here finding about your story. Would you be the sheriff that was working here in San Dimas a long time ago in like 1912? Is that the right year?
1920s.
20s, is it? Okay. 1920s? There's definitely a male spirit here. I see him kind of walking over here, but I do get the feeling of this young man was like in, oh, wait a minute, okay. He was into drugs, he was into rock and roll. He was, well, their version of rock and roll at the time. Okay, and I'm getting a feeling this is a black man. This is new for me. I don't remember this spirit here. This may be, okay. All right, I'm getting this story straight here.
Okay.
Because over here, all right, I think I see who could be the sheriff over here. Over here, he may well have been the perp that the sheriff tussled with, because all of a sudden he shows himself just being boom down to the ground, and he's being wrestled. He at least has darker skin. I was assuming that was black because I was getting that flash in my mind, so I'll just say it. I asked this man, it's like, what up with him? And he says, I'm just trying to keep him in his place.
Oh.
He's still doing it, which could account for why might be still around here.
Is he doing it to like people? Like,
is he what?
Doing things to like people, like actual living people, or
like touching them or doing that kind of thing? The sheriff?
No,
this guy?
The other guy.
No, he's go ahead. He says, I can't get any farther than this. I can't get any farther than this. So it's like go ahead. It feels like the sheriff guy is just keeping him in one place. He's keeping him contained. Oh. So no, do I have that story straight? Could you say that something in here? And we'll check later with the recording. The reason we're doing this is just to get your story, the history of San Dimas and even your history, what happened here. This man says, who might be the sheriff, he goes, I remember that time, and it's like, so, and he talked about mics, he's like, where people would shove a mic, up into his face. Now, that's not to say that was with this thing, because, well, he died. But it's like, but before that, he would used to give interviews a lot, and they annoyed him. Annoyed him. Okay, well, this is a lot different. This is more the history. If we have the right person here, were you recently honored over at the Sheriff's Department in San Dimas? Did they talk about that honoring to you? Because it seemed, you give me the feeling that I don't know what you're talking about. You know, I don't know. So it's like,
Maybe it's
did
not
anyone
him.
tell them?
Oh.
Mhm. Okay, it feels to me like they're too caught up in their drama here to be able to go beyond the walls and like I don't get the feeling he was able to go over because he's watching him. So it's like they're caught in this still cat and mouse game, but he's just trying to hold this guy here. And do I have that right? He does remember he did see them, you know, kind of running around here and getting things ready for something that was somewhere. So he's aware something was going on. It's just whether he really got over there to see it is questionable at this point. Or if this is even the sheriff. So we'll see and confirm with this.
I believe I might have his name on my phone. Because I remember he texted me when they were honoring him.
Yeah.
So let me just check your messages. Yeah, here we go. Funkhauser.
Funkhauser. Constable Funkhauser. Okay. Let's see, what does it say?
100 years ago, May 14th, 1922.
22. Okay. May 14th. Wow, coming up on the... No, we're already past it. Hence why they celebrated him. Wow.
Yeah.
This one... Okay, I'm asking about this one because the one he's holding down to me still looks like a black guy to me, you know, and he might just have been holding down another perp, yet another perp he found, and so he knows what happened here, so therefore he's gonna do what he can to still protect this place.
Right, because they never found the one who, the man who killed him. They found a suspect, but it turned out it wasn't him.
Okay.
So he was let go. And, but they never found the man who...
I'll be darned.
Yeah.
Wow. And I'll try one more time. What is your name, sir? And your name, if you don't mind? Okay. And we'll ask later on, before we leave the mansion, and we could do it now, is just put out, you know, like to guardian angels, you know, please, you know, help these guys heal, you know, so they can move on, do their thing. If this is a sheriff, and I think it is, you've done a beautiful job when you were here. You don't really need to be doing it now. But, you know, again, up to you. But you'll be getting lots of, you'll be getting lots of time over there to, if you cross over, that you'll be getting healing. You'll be getting lots of stuff to do. You can still help with law enforcement. You can do all that, but from a healthier place. You can do it here, but first maybe cross over. It's just a much healthier place for you and for the people here. Although we appreciate what you are doing. What are your thoughts? He was talking about these little, oh gosh, that looks just like paint there. Mm-hmm. But he bent over and he kind of went like this. He says, like bullet holes. They're not bullet holes, but they look like bullet holes, So it would just be something.
Something must have knocked into it.
Yeah, that he would notice. Okay, well, I think that's, this guy he just tends to hang around here. It was because he's being held in place. But he's not causing trouble with the living here. Oh, it's not like he's messing with them. He doesn't dare, because this guy's all over us. But, so, okay. I guess we could go back into the elevator and then kind of get some more, hopefully, EVP stuff there. Because this guy, wow, he's very quick.
It's very what?
Quick. Oh. It's like I just feel the wind go whipping by me, and it's like, wow. Very fine, we'll go this way. We can always go the stairs on the way. Did you follow us in here, sir? Okay, he's showing the American flag. He's kind of he's talking about that's not all I was. Okay. This feels like maybe a veteran too, like he would have been in the service. Let's start this way.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Just ducky. How are you doing?
Fine. Find any ghosts today?
Okay, they obviously have sales going on here. I really, really like those. Okay, anyway. Back to you guys. Is there anybody in here that would like to talk? Any spirits? Spirit people? What's your story? Okay, there's female that's coming in right now. She feels different than her greeter downstairs.
Okay.
So this is another one. Very nice. Very, very awesome too. She's talking about, and she points out the embroidery on the door over here. And she says, I used to do that.
Oh, okay.
I used to do embroidery. It's like, oh, very cool. And what's her name, hun? Okay, and she's giving the name Patricia as being significant. So we'll find out. I'll find out if one of these two is. Do you remember? No, Sue was one.
Sue, yeah.
Okay, so we'll see if there's a Patricia going on too. Okay. The one who's a greeter, she goes, that's my sister.
Oh, okay.
So it's like she lived with them, for a long time. Mm-hmm. Now she helps with this. It's like they have the open house, they're selling stuff for the gift shop. It's just, yeah, she just has a lot of fun. Like a lot of spirits that are in museums, she loves just being able to help people understand what it felt like, because people can absorb that. It's like, this is what it felt like back then to live in this kind of environment. She goes, I wish they had teas again.
Oh.
where they could really
Right.
just come in. She goes,
Yeah.
I would absolutely love that. Mhm. She goes, oh, it was quite the thing. It was quite the experience. Everybody from town would come to these, that were
Yeah.
women, just the women. Mhm. Yeah, she's very hospitable. Hospitable. I mean, you were taken care of. You come in here and you were just absolutely, pampered. She goes, not everybody, because some people would give busybodies. She called them. She goes, we don't cater to busybodies. We cater to the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convinced that she wasn't also, she loves her little piece of gossip too, but she keeps it under wraps because she's the hostess and she's with the mostest. She's just not going to try to go there.
The walking tour, yeah.
Sort of like Desperate Housewives. Back then, it was like the Desperate Housewives of that day. So they would all come together though and have this tea. And as much as she tried to kind of discourage it, it was never under control. I mean, there were always people that would, do the whole gossip thing, which is half the fun of being there, I would think. But,
Right.
Yeah. She goes, you have to understand we're very devout churchgoers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's like we just, yeah. Yeah. We wouldn't partake in too much gossip. Mm-hmm. She said there are very few things that are still here in the mansion that would have been from her life here. So like her personal belongings, yes, there are a few, but it's not like a lot. Like they're not hanging off the wall as much or anything. This is more like artwork. I'm asking her about the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
She's, she does. They don't really associate with him too much. It's like he goes up and down the halls. And, and she notices them, and because I could see the shadow of them kind of going around the corner.
Yeah.
And just disappearing into one of the bedrooms.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like there's people in there.
You mean real?
Yeah.
Or like physical?
Real people.
There's a bunch of them down there. I think it's echoing over here because I don't hear anybody physical right in here. However, I do hear, that's why I was kind of asking you. I thought, you hear them too? Because they were bustling in here. It's sort of like the women, and this might be residual, like they were just kind of, bustling around, getting things ready for something. So it's that kind of a feel in here. I'm trying to contact them a little bit, see if they're intelligent, if they can respond and do that. I don't get that feeling. Okay, sheriff guy shows up, or who we think is the sheriff, and I was about ready to reach for the doorknob, and he says, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Oh.
So far it's pointing to that he may still be here.
Oh, okay.
He's tall too. He feels like I have to look up, to see him. We'll have to find out those. I don't know if we can find out those details.
Manager husband puts a new battery in all of them, and so to find out what you gotta find out a battery.
Yeah, there. Okay, now he's starting to talk about this. He says that since it was never officially a hotel, but there were lots of layers of history to this place.
Right.
So it's like he says these are just like one of the layers. As people bustling around, getting ready for. We talk about city events, and this goes back to. This is more like say I want to go forward a little bit, like 1940s, 1950s. That this action in here is happening. It's interesting that he's willing to talk now. Let's see if. And since there's background noise, I need you to talk very, very loudly into here so we can hear you. If anyone can hear me from the other side of this, could you please talk into here very loudly? Interesting, because all of a sudden I felt a little, like there was a little dog too. I don't think these are intelligent. I just see the little dog running around and then some ladies in here primarily. Okay. All right, little kid. He just started running up the stairs. He goes, up here, up here. Up here, what? This is a little boy. Okay, yeah, you can go in there, but we can't. What's your name, hon? He looks to be about 5 or 6 in age. And he said, come on in here. I want to show you it was like toys, trains, all kinds of things in here. Although this was historically an office for...
The other guy we met.
Yeah, exactly. But he likes the train. He loves the train. Anything trains, he's happy with. And he looks to be like little blonde-haired kid.
Oh, okay.
And so he just, went up in here. Wow. Okay. Sir, what is your name? An adult came in, and he seems to be a little more gruff, a little bit more. Was this your office? He uses the name confounded. He says, this confounded kid, just, and it's like he just kind of kicks the kid out of there, and down the kid goes, and he's still here, of course, because his face. Okay, that's interesting. This is kind of like out of left field. He was showing, like old spaghetti factory. It feels like an Italian kind of flavor he's giving. I'm seeing the spaghetti. I'm seeing, so it could be a favorite. Okay, fine, go ahead. He goes, am I telling the story or are you? They just can't hear you though, that's the problem. I have to kind of translate, hopefully. He goes, don't put that thing in my face. Okay, he's very protective of his space and just don't interfere with me too much. And, certainly don't go in that room. But yeah, he does give me the feeling that Italian. Now, whether he's Italian himself, I'm not sure. I think this is something we could find out. The guy that worked in here, that his office was in here. Gosh, I smelled that garlic bread that comes out. Just yummy. He goes, give me the paper. Has anyone seen my paper? Okay, so I don't know where your paper is. This could be something residual he would kind of do as well. There is an intelligent spirit here, but he's kind of talking about stuff from his life, from what he used to experience here. It was during a time of horses up and down San Dimas Avenue. So it's like that kind of gives more of a time frame, because I heard the clop, 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 and then dust flying. he said these people have tried so many things to keep this place alive. You know, he's glad it's still alive. He kind of wishes it was, you know, like, of course, back in his time, you know, kind of things that looked the same then. But he goes, you do what you got to do.
Right.
So he understands it. He just would prefer it the other way.
Okay.
He's, oh, he's not even touching computers. I mean, he's just not into it. He doesn't understand. Because I asked about the computer downstairs. Do you ever, you know, mess with that? Because some people have had somebody messing with their computers. My guess is the kids that are in here. That, you know, we'll try to get evidence to that later. But it's, it's June, so it's June 4th of 2022. He goes, I'm not an idiot, you know. He goes, I get the, okay, I thought you were confused about the, because I thought he asked what day is it, what, that kind of thing. So he probably just wants to know that it's Saturday. Still giving me that smell of the thing. I kind of wonder if a Italian place is going to come in here.
Oh, okay.
You know, also, you know, he loves
delicious.
Italian, and it's like. He says, yeah. He goes, yes, that's right. That's finally right. Okay. So whatever that means for this. Okay. Well, that would be amazing.
Can you give us the winning lottery numbers?
Could you give us the winning lottery numbers?
I don't know why I felt like teasing him.
Yeah, no, that was good. That's very good. Yeah, he said it's not too far fetched from what they would do back then in his time. It's like they would look at the papers and they would have some sort of, you know, kind of a game that would go on, and it was sort of like a lottery thing.
Okay.
He says, we don't have the fancy dancy machines that you have now, but it's like we had something like that.
Was he doing stock market or just like
this
regular
seems
business?
Like
ledgers? Okay.
Exactly. It's sort of yeah, he did the ledgers. The thing in the paper was more of a community thing, but you could win something. So it's sort of like their version of the lottery. So it's like, okay, that would be fun. I can see it up at the top, and it was like, you know, a series of numbers, not too many, but more than 3. You know, it's like more than 3, less than 5, I think. He's okay. Okay. Now he drew me to the top of the paper, and it says, of course, I have that in my mind from the sheriff, is 1922.
Okay.
That kind of thing. So it'll at least point to the 20s when this would have taken place. Sorry, hon, I'm just putting my hand here just so I can feel you better. What was the most important thing to you? You mentioned the ledgers. He says that was important to me. Work was important to him.
Okay.
And that's about it. Oh, except for Bonnie. Except for Bonnie. Some name that sounds like that. It's a female that he was sweet on, as he puts it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Elsie, Bonnie, it's like an E sound on the end. Elsie, it might be more like, well, why are you here still? Like, really? Yeah, just overseeing. It's like, yeah. No, he's just here because he likes to be here still.
Oh, okay.
It's like he's just overseeing the running of the place, and he enjoys that, and he liked it. He checked in on the other side. He's fine. He just came back here because he just could and he wanted to. This feels like this is his place. literally it feels like there's a whole family, you know, living here still, just on the other side, you know, but they're inhabiting these walls. And they're running life as usual, except for, well, yeah, even with the sheriff, you know, it's sort of like he's still taking down perps, you know. And
What does he think of the sheriff?
what do you think of the sheriff, Funkhauser, or this man that's around here that talks like he's a sheriff? It's interesting because he talks like, he says that guy he rarely ever talks to him either. You know, he just sort of lets him do his thing because he says he feels like it doesn't hurt to have some law in the place, you know, to keep things, you know, there. So he's happy he's here. He doesn't talk to him much. He just stays in his, you know, doing the ledgers, making sure everything's on track. And yeah, he's okay with him being here. He goes and keeps out this, and it sounded kind of weird, but the sordid sort keeps them away. So it's like, okay, I get that. I understand that. Are there any other thoughts that you have? It's funny, I can feel his energy kind of pushing into to my head, you know, like this is, in case you didn't know, I should have said in the first place, this is a recorder. It's on a phone that we talk on, but we can record as well. So that's why I'm holding it here like this. And this is Michelle, and I'm Mona. And thank you for talking with us.
Yes, it was a pleasure.
You're okay. I don't care what they said about you down there. Just joking. Okay.
I know, as someone you'd feel like you to tease, like in a good way, wholesome way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I think you got him nailed. It's even though he loves his privacy, you know, it's like he's not beyond humor. He certainly wasn't beyond love. And it's, where is she? She pops in from time to time, is the way he puts it. So it's like, I don't really know where she is. Okay, she has her group she still attends, and then she'll just, you know, come through here.
Was he the same gentleman we were talking to the last time we were here? Because he mentioned,
Up here? Yeah, probably.
He mentioned his wife was kind of like a social butterfly. She couldn't put events together, and he would just sign the checks.
Yes. Yeah. That sounds exactly like, I forgot about, you know, what we had.
I know you've been doing so many.
I know, it's like, what? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's what it feels like. It's like she does her own thing. She's flying around, and then she'll pop up here. Says, which is the way we like it, he says. So it's like, that's just how they roll, I guess, and that's what they do. Yeah, I can see the short little, perfectly coiffed hair. He's showing hers older, you know, where she had the gray hair, you know, and this. And but she had the always floral dresses on. This one she's showing blue, and you know, blue flowers on a white background. And she just in the cute little shoes, not high heels, just cute little shoes, and running around all over the place. I said, yeah, well, please tell her hi for us. And he says, oh, you'll run into her. She's just, you'll run into her. I said, okay. Well, if we don't, you know, feel free to say hi. Yeah, he's fun. Like you said, you know, it's like he's got that humor underneath the... That's not your boy, right? Oh, heavens, no. He said, no, okay. Some other boy, all right. All right, well, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Have a good time the rest of the day. Okay.
I think that... Looks like move some things around since last time we were here.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay, we got somebody here.
So I said to Terry when she got there.
There's a lady here who used to lead groups here, like recently, but she passed away and then she's still doing it.
A docent?
Yes, a docent.
Okay.
And yeah. And she did, okay, whoa, she's funny.
Yeah.
She does have a sense of humor, but she's kind of like going back and forth from old to young, old to young. So
Okay.
I'm saying 80 and then 30, it's just back and forth. She goes, I didn't want you to think that I always look like this. It's like, no, I'm more like this. But okay, she's talking about this.
Granddaughter of James and Sue Walker, who bought the house.
Okay.
So she and her husband were married in 1945, right after the war was over, and they were married here in the house. And then they were the last ones to live here in the house
Yes.
until about 1979, and she became ill with cancer, and so it was too much to take care of. They moved out. She died shortly thereafter, and so they were actually the last family to live here.
Wow.
So this is something that he had commissioned after she died, commissioned by Margaret Holland Sargent, and she's fairly well-known artist.
Yeah,
she's done a lot of military figures.
I was thinking that name sounded familiar.
Yeah,
I thought, wow.
And she's actually still alive. I think she's 94 or something now.
Oh, where does she live now?
She's here in Southern California.
Excuse me, this is not. That's just dry throat and everything.
So anyhow, that's a picture of her that he had done.
That's okay. Okay, yeah, that's beautiful, beautiful picture.
Yeah, we just got that from the families. One of the family members donated it.
Oh, nice.
And that picture of her on the floor there in her wedding dress,
Yeah,
framed like that.
that is just.
She said was an original. We have copies of that, but
How old was she when she passed?
let's see. She's
Or wait, no, she didn't pass.
1917. Well, the Sue passed. The artist is still alive.
Oh, okay.
See, I think she died in, I want to say 79. 79 or 80.
And did you have an older docent here, female, who, used to work here and then she passed? Do you happen to know?
There's been
probably a
number
bunch of them, huh?
Yeah, it's a historical society. They're dying all the time.
That's it, yeah. Well, one of them is back here leading tours too. She's kind of like just helping people understand, the thing. But she loved it here, so but she passed when she looks like she's in close to her 80s, somewhere in 80s.
That's a lot of our members.
That's a lot of them. So it's I got to find out some more information. But I couldn't take my eyes away from that picture.
Yeah, she was a real pretty lady.
Oh my gosh.
And even though he remarried after she died.
Yeah.
He was supposed to stay single.
I know, but I tell you, I met with him one time. Oh, probably, gosh, it had to be 15 years ago, I guess now.
Yeah.
10 years. But he still considered her the love of his life.
Aww,
Yeah.
The story he tells about when he first met her is,
Priceless.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I mean, he was very devoted to her.
Oh my gosh. Is he still alive or no?
No, he's been gone a few years now.
Okay. Aww.
Yeah.
Well, they get to hang out now.
Exactly.
How cool is that?
Maybe they're here hanging out.
Yeah, it's real possible.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, packed place.
Well, nice seeing you guys again.
You too.
Okay.
Wow. I could not take my eyes off of this picture, and it was just sort of like,
Are you up here? Sue?
yeah. Interesting. But if she was just in her 60s when she passed, then it's probably not the same lady that I saw in here at the moment. But she pointed out this picture like, she was probably leading a tour. Okay, let's see here. I don't see the sheriff guy around here right now.
Try opening a locked door.
He'll show up. Watch this. It's like, this TV would look really good at home. This guy does rounds. It does feel like he walks the halls. He kind of goes and he ducks in and then he goes on to the next room and the next. go down here. We weren't able to do that
No
before.
worries.
The sun-kissed room.
Get on the side of you. It's like a window.
Yes, yeah, good thinking. I love those oranges. They're all fake, but you know, those slices and the history of sun-kissed over in this area. Okay, let's see. Oh, Carruthers. Okay, that's one of her names. That was the lady from the other room. I had no idea they had one that this. Is it a P50? Yeah, it's a P51D model, but it's a Spirit of San Dimas, California. I had no idea they had their own.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't notice any spirits in here.
Okay.
They're just kind of just some cool residual energy from all the historical
Mm-hmm.
objects. This is a male spirit standing here, but I don't think this is the sheriff guy. This is, but he does.
Energy.
Yeah, he just. He's dressed up like the 20s with the, what do you call that? The bowler hat. You know, where it's like humpy up on top and then just a little
I think
tiny
that's the
brim,
bowler. Yeah,
or something like that.
bowler hat. Gosh, I should.
I know
this.
there's a different word, I think, but I just don't remember what it is. Anyway, he's just standing here like this in his suit, nice, it feels like a brown suit. And he's just like, it's like I can't even walk over there. He's got a very solid presence. But he's like keeping an eye on the room. He's,
Did he used to work here?
I think he used to live here.
Okay.
Live here or in the area, like immediate area, and he kind of helps out. He just helps out and just watches the room. He's okay. He talks about 1938, March. He's he takes out his pocket watch and just watches. He's watching the time. He's watching the time. Okay. This is, okay, he's talking about railroad, you know, and he may have even worked on the railroad all the live long day. But yeah, he takes out the thing and watches, and as he puts it back in his, whatever that is, the little pocket inside his vest, I can hear and see. He's trying to creep by so he doesn't disturb it. It's good. Yeah. Worked on the railroad. It's not like he worked on the train, I don't think. I see him by the train station, and but he makes sure things are running on time. I could hear kind of feel I don't know if it's steam or some other kind of exhaust. Are they closing? I don't know. When do they close?
I think 2. Is it already 2?
It's a little early, but okay. No, it's 1.
Oh, okay, maybe it's 1.
What time do you close?
1.
Oh, at 1. We thought it was 2. Okay. Sorry. Okay. And what's your name, sir? This is a recorder, by the way. I'm Mona. This is Michelle.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah, we're just finding out what your story is. What did you do for a living? What's your name? Why do you hang out in this room? Okay. He's going like this.
Oh, so he's done with this.
Oh, that's why he was doing the watch thing. That's why he was doing that. 'Cause he was saying,
telling us we're out of time.
yeah. I don't around again. That lady. This lady looks really familiar to me. We'll have to find out. Maybe we can ask who that is.
Do you want to take a picture of her on your phone and then we could ask them?
That's probably a good idea. Oops.
We did show Sue the picture that we took in that little office. Who did she say she was?
Genevieve Walker.
Genevieve Walker.
And she would be the one that's the greeter, you know, of the, you know, when you walk into the place, she's the one that'll initially take care of you and show you around. So that's why she looks so familiar, because I'm looking at that face going, that's gotta be, you know, the original, you know, Mrs. Walker, you know, who bought the place. So, yeah, it was great. But according to what we've picked up on today, so far, and I'll listen to the tape, see what we catch there. So far, it really sounds like, at least if it's not the sheriff, a sheriff-like person is here, you know, and still keeping an eye on the place, make sure everything, even in spirit, you know, is keeps all the riffraff out. You know, you'll just make sure you're all safe in here. And like you heard, you know, it's like I tried to touch that doorknob, and he says, "I wouldn't do that if I were you," and it's like, okay. So, but otherwise he was pretty polite, but he wasn't disrespectful at all, you know, and we were respectful to him. That's generally a rule. If you're respectful to the spirits, they're going to respect you. You know, there's a troublemaker once in a while, but, you know.
So what's your overall feeling about the Walker house?
It's gently haunted. I believe that, yeah, it's like the Walker house just has mostly genteel spirits here. There's always one that causes a ruckus. You know, there's always going to be one. And on here, we'll probably hear a few colorful phrases. But for the most part, we have a good guy kind of keeping that one in line. I think that's what's going on.
Okay.
So, yeah, but it's a joy to visit if you get a chance to visit, you know, because you can feel just all the beautiful spirits that are here. I would say there's probably, the ones we detected were probably about 5, including a little boy that kept running up and down. I mean, he just does that all the time. You know, he's got other kids he plays with sometimes there as well.
Why do you think that some
Seriously.
I'm gonna keep that in the blooper reel.
Yeah, keep it in there. It's like, what the heck? It's like, what?
Okay, is it
farting
safe to
motorcycle.
speak?
Yeah.
Why do you think that some spirit children don't cross over? Or do they cross over and just come back? Or like the little boy that we encountered in the cemetery, he hadn't crossed over.
Yeah.
I only asked because those were some of the questions we got.
Right,
Yeah.
right, exactly. I'm trying to remember his case. I think, didn't he pass like suddenly? Like
It was a convalescent hospital at one time.
he had tuberculosis?
Yes.
Yes, that's right. Sometimes kids pass away so suddenly that it's really individual with the child. So it's like if they passed away so quickly that they just had no time to really even think about it, it's sometimes they'll just stick around, and other spirits, adult spirits, will just naturally take care of him, and he feels so loved that he just sticks around with them.
Okay.
Sometimes, you know, and then other times it's in this little boy's case, it feels more like he did cross over, came back, and he's just hanging out with the rest of the spirits here who are having a good time with that. Yeah, in this case, I think he did cross over, came back, just because he enjoys the place. Nobody here seems to be stuck, except for the one bad guy that the sheriff guy is keeping in line, you know, and he's just going to not let him leave the premises. I don't know why exactly. That's kind of an interesting thing, so we'll see if we get something.
Yeah, and I'm curious if, like, because there's no way to know this, that
Yeah.
if the sheriff were just let him loose, so to speak, if
Yeah,
he
kick
wouldn't
him
cause
out.
a ruckus, or if he would, you know, or he would just move on.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, yeah, why? You know, it's maybe he just doesn't. If this is the sheriff, that had, been killed while he was in a struggle,
Right.
with the perp. It could be he's replaying that whole thing too, where it's like, I can't let him go. I can't let him go this time. It's like, and so he just keeps holding on to it. That's one thing it might be in his repertoire to kind of let go. It's like, you don't have to save the world all the time, even now. And then he could maybe feel free about letting it go. So, yeah, well, I'll have to think about that, because it does seem like he's stuck a little bit in a loop.
Oh, okay.
At the same time, though, he has a job around here to just keep, self-imposed job, to
Yeah.
keep everybody safe, from other people.